Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. I am Lady Trialdi in basic macroeconomics class. Now, I would like to explain about one of the most important concerns in macroeconomics. We're going to talk about the economic growth, its sources, and the related government policies that may influence it. So here we go. We're gonna talk the following shortly. It will be ended with a discussion about the triple bottom line of economic growth. It is considered crucial as all of us would like to have not merely an economic growth, but a sustainable economic growth. In many economic literatures, we know that the standard of living in every country is different. But one thing for sure, countries with higher per capita income tend to have better standards of living. They enjoy better nutrition, housing, health services, life expectancy, and other quality of lives. How to catch up the richer countries, or how to maintain the high standard of living. Basically, a country's standard of living depends on its ability to produce goods and services, depend on the productivity of the people, the labor. And the more resources and ability the people have, the more productive will the economy be. To find out the determinants of productivity, we can start by identifying the production function in the economy in general. The function in general is like this, not much different from the production function of a firm in microeconomics. And look at the definition of each variables here. These factors of production are the resources or the source of economic growth together with the factor of technology, especially in the long run. Changing them means that we change the supply side of the economy or change the production capacity of the economy. Assuming constant return to scale in the production function, we can convert the function into a productivity function like this. Remember the constant returns to scale condition? Doubling all the input always means doubling the output. So similarly here, increasing all the input by 1 per L times will increase the output level 1 per L times as well. From the productivity function, we know that these four factors, apart from the workforce itself, must be increased in the economy so that the economic's production capacity as well as the economic productivity can increase. People with more skills, with more physical capital, with more resources, and with technological knowledge should be able to produce more than those without or with less of the factors. And economic growth policies are adopted basically for doing this, increasing such factors of production and technology. Also, even increasing the number of population can be one of the policies. So, the government can encourage saving and investment, for instance, to increase the physical capital for future use. It can improve education and health quality to increase human capital. It can also maintain and enforce property rights, open the economy for trade, and do the other policies to make the productivity higher. This is what happens when saving is used to finance more physical capital investment. Higher capital per labor will increase productivity, as indicated by the movement from point A to B and from C to D. However, given the slope of the productivity curve that is getting flatter, we also observe that the diminishing marginal productivity of capital does occur. We can compare the movement from point A to B and from point C to D. The increase in capital per labor are the same, but from point C to D, when the economy actually has higher capital per labor, the impact of the increased capital per labor on productivity is much lower. Look, and you can compare the blue and the red arrows on the vertical axis here. In the context of two different economies, the condition of diminishing marginal productivity raises the possibility of catch-up effect like this. Countries with a lower starting point of capital per labor have the potential to get higher productivity growth. But of course, it is worth noting that higher growth doesn't guarantee the same condition between the two countries will be occurring in the long run. And the catch-up effect also might even have never happened if the production technology of the two countries was far different. Another thing that needs to be considered is regarding the condition where investment is financed by domestic saving, because there are trade-offs. More savings can result in greater investment, but on the other hand, at the expense of the current consumption. Moreover, resources used to produce consumer goods are thus diverted to produce capital goods. The trade-offs matter because we realize that people's welfare or how people enjoy their lives must be reflected from their consumption. How can you enjoy your income if you don't spend it, right? Another alternative to increase capital per worker is through foreign investment. It can be in the form of foreign direct investment, or FDI, the long-term investment, in which foreign entities make capital expenditures or build physical capital directly in the domestic economy. Or it can be in the form of portfolio investment, which is generally in the short run. In portfolio investment, foreign parties only play a role in providing investment funds, while every decision and operations is made by domestic companies. Foreign investment is certainly expected to increase the physical capital stocks of the economy, but apart from that, foreign investment also enables more labor absorption, increased wage, and improved production technology. However, of course, not all foreign investment has positive impact on the economy. FDI, for instance, can also kill domestic businesses, harm business competition, and it may be not socially and environmentally irresponsible, or it simply doesn't absorb new workers at all, nor make transfer of technology to the domestic economy. Therefore, appropriate foreign investment rules are required. Education and health policies can be categorized as investment on human capital. Both policies can also produce positive externalities because once knowledge and healthy environment are created, the conditions can be enjoyed by many people with no exception. Of course, investment on education and health is not easy. It involves so huge amount of money that make governments of most countries collaborate with their private sectors, or they even borrow funds from abroad. In education investment in particular, there is a so-called brain drain phenomenon as well. With high income offers from other countries, educated workers in developing countries can turn and go to other countries. So to some extent, the investment is wasted in this situation. If the brain drain can be prevented and the community is getting healthier, the economy may exhibit a virtuous cycle. You know, the smarter and healthier the people, the more productive they are. Then, the better the economy, the more smart and healthy people available to the economy. On the contrary, the unexpected condition is the vicious cycle. Poor education and health lead to poor productivity. Poor economy in turn then make the education and health are getting worse, and so on. How about the following two policies? Well, they are crucial in supporting the functioning of the economy. Without protection of property rights, for example, there is no incentive for people to invest and innovate, or even just to do the economic activities. Economic costs are becoming too expensive. Political instability may create uncertainty too in protecting property rights and law enforcement as a whole. And free trade, it is not only needed to increase the productivity of domestic resources, but also to offer a better quality of life. Yes, of course, there is still need for vigilance because unfair trade competition practices are real. Lastly, we have R&D and population growth policy. As you can read here, we know the importance of R&D and how government can promote it. I just would like to emphasize that in connection with population growth, R&D can also prevent a decrease in productivity and scarcity of resources that may result from an increase in population. At the end, every country wants a sustainable development. So far, we have talked a lot about GDP or economic growth. Neither economic growth nor economic development can be sustained without the two elements here, the social and the environmental element. Economic growth without considering social elements will result in injustice condition. And the feeling of injustice may trigger destructive behavior from some groups of people that could create damage on what has been achieved in the economy. Nevertheless, equitable economic growth alone is still not sufficient to produce a sustainable development. Economic activities that are not environmentally friendly will erode the availability of resources for economic activity in the future. Thus, no sustainable development can be achieved. The triple bottom line for economy, social, and environment must be implemented in a balanced and proportionate manner. And for that, it is necessary to develop adequate institutions. These institutions include formal and informal rules such as property rights that we discussed earlier, contracts, regulations, and constitutional law, as well as institutions, both government and non-government, that can guard the triple bottom line of development. Okay, so that's all my brief explanation about production and economic growth at the moment. Thank you for your attention. See you again in other videos with different basic macroeconomics topic. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day everyone.